Fear that held us now gives way to Him who is our peace. His final cross is now alive in me. And your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. By your spirit I will rise from the ashes. Resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. By your spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrecting me. In your name I come alive to declare your victory.
All right, Jordan, can you mute? Thank you. Thanks for doing that. Can you hear me, Jordan? Okay. All righty, we're gonna get this party started. Making sure I'm recording, looks good. We are recording this class. Okay, hey, let's get this party started, right? I am so thankful, honored, and just glad that you have carved out this time today. No matter if it's morning here in Okinawa, or if it's evening in America, or wherever you are in the world, you have made your health and wellness a priority. And so we thank you for doing that. I hear the men running up and down the stairs getting ready for this class. I'm like, what's going on out there? Okay, so my sister is messaging me that she's having trouble. Is anyone else having trouble from other people getting signed in? Jordan, can you help with maybe posting the again or doing something on the page for the team?
Oh.
Thank you. All right. Zoom is just a new way for some of you, and Zoom is an old way for some of us. So whether you're new or old to Zoom, we welcome you here. There's a few ground rules that we just wanted to kick off the class with. The first one is, as you join today, we have kept you muted. If we ask that you would stay muted until the end of the class. When we get to the end, if you have some questions or comments or praises or anything that you want to leave us with, we will. You can just put it in the chat and we will unmute you and allow that time at the end for you to share anything. In the meantime, I would love it if you checked out the chat feature. We wanted this class to be interactive. Even though the guys are talking, if you have any questions when they're talking, you can type it there. Jordan will be facilitating the chat and kind of prompting some chatter. So welcome, Jordan. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Erica Gearing. I'm a fearless leader here in Okinawa that is raising up other people. We are locking arms and journeying together in our pursuit of health and wellness. And in that process, we've made numerous friends. And so if you are a team member that is maybe just got your kit yesterday, or maybe your kit is arriving today, no matter where you are, I promise this class you will not leave disappointed. These men are going to go over a lot of the products from the starter kits but also they're going to take it to infinity and beyond. So trust me, you're going to want to grab your pen and paper and take some notes. Whether you have a few oils in your starter kit that maybe you haven't touched, and others that you're like, I use that on a daily basis and I never knew that piece of information. These men are going to sure to drive that point home. So regardless of your age, gender, or getting and staying healthy, it's super cool for everyone. So in this men's class, you're going to learn about the most popular products from Young Living and how you can use them every day to live a healthy lifestyle, to enhance your masculinity, your health, your energy, and your mood. We won't leave you hanging if you are new to oils and you're like, oh my goodness, I want to get my hands on a starter kit right now. These men are going to show you how to get it. But you know I love prizes, right? So you're also going to get a prize. So if you will type in the chat right now your name, who invited you, and where you're coming in from, we're going to do a giveaway for those people that are interactive in the chat. And what are we going to give away today? This adorable new roller that I just got in the mail yesterday. So someone will be winning a roller. It's not just a roller. I will, of course, put something fun in there. One of Brian or Colin's favorite rollers, blends will go in here for you. So you definitely want to be putting that in the chat. And then at the end of the class, I will also announce how you can get your hands on the starter kit. And I will, of course, do a giveaway for the first person that joins our team. So with all of that being said, I think I've covered my basis and all of the ground rules. So let's introduce these men, right? Both of our guests here today come with a wealth of knowledge. They come to you having over 16 years of combined oil experience. First, I'd like to introduce Colin Basler. He's a dear friend. We met them in our Bible study in our neighborhood years ago. He is a father of 4 that told me he gets very little sleep, but he still uses his oils and his supplements to keep him going. So he's very thankful for his Young Living products. He is a former Marine. He also is a PGA golf man who is a professional golfer and currently is in charge of all of the Kadena Air Base golf courses. I was going to say other thing, golf situations. That's not right. Golf courses, right? So we thank you for all that Colin does to serve the military now. And we're just thankful that he's also welcoming us to hear his heart today. It's very humbling to jump in here and really be open and honest with a bunch of people that he may not know. So he's very brave today. Thank you. The other guest we have is very near and dear to my heart. I actually have the joy of sleeping next to him every night. Yep, please join me in welcoming my main squeeze, Brian Gearing. Brian wasn't really on board with oils right from the start. The researcher and scientist in him had to find the proof. What he found was, yes, the oils worked, but it didn't come from all of the research. Do you know what it came from? It came from his daily practice of using the products. So he's going to give you the science and all the research, but he's also going to share from his heart how they worked without him even knowing. So Brian, would you kick us off with just sharing real quickly your story of how you came to oils? And I'm going to just pass the baton to you guys. I'm going to unmute you and you are going to just really let us observe you from the garage. Thanks, man. Let me get you unmuted. And it's not letting me unmute you. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Am I on?
Yep, you're ready, babe. Sorry about that.
Hey everybody, my name is Brian, and this is Colin, and we look forward to the class today. Men, it's all about you today. There's women watching as well. They know a lot of this stuff, and we're trying to do this class for you so we can improve our health. My name is Brian. Give me 3 minutes to tell you my story and why you should listen to me and why you should take this stuff seriously. 13 years ago is when I was introduced to oils. My son was 3 years old. He contracted salmonella and was on his deathbed, if you will, and on his way out of this world with 105-degree fever. We were able to get him out of the hospital, and that's when we were introduced to oils. And I didn't know what they were. I didn't believe in them, but I would do anything to prevent that salmonella from coming back or settling in his joints. So we started using them, putting them on the bottom of his feet and a whole bunch of other places, and just nightly we were told to do it. I didn't know why I was doing it. but I did it because I was desperate and I wanted my son to live. And same time, a couple years earlier, my dad had taken his own life, and Erica, my wife, she almost died a couple of times. It's been a thing. Now it's like 3 or 4 times, but so she's around and doing well. But during that time, I was driven down into depression, and mainly out of fear. And you guys have all heard that saying, fear is anticipating future events and future events appearing real. That's what I always see. But I lived in fear of the future, and was I going to lose my son now? But it drove me down into a depression, and I started using the oils, just did it daily. Erica showed me ways to put more oils in my body and use some things to calm me down, get better sleep. I was having night sweats, all kinds of things were going wrong. So I did it. I kept doing it. The more I did it, the more I realized that this way of life is what I wanted for my family. Always wanted health for my family. And I know you guys do too. And this is the key to it. So that's my story, and 13 years experience combined. Colin and I, we have a total of 15 going on 16 years experience. So we've learned a lot, and we look forward to sharing that with you today. So thank you for listening. Now, I have a quote for you. The quote, it's one of my favorite quotes, is, "A healthy man has 1,000 dreams, but an unhealthy man has," Colin, how many dreams?
Just one dream.
An unhealthy man has one dream. And what is that dream?
To be a healthy man.
To be healthy again. We don't want to fight and spend our money when our health declines. We want to maintain it and keep it going strong until the day we die. And we want to live a vital, healthy life. So with that said, I want you to remember that quote. A healthy man has 1,000 dreams. We just want to take on the world. Unhealthy man has one dream, and that is to get our health back. Let's keep what we got and make it thrive. That's why we're here.
All right, welcome, gents and ladies and gents. First thing, we are not doctors. Brian and I, obviously, he's a teacher. I'm a golf professional. We are not here to diagnose, treat, or cure any of your illnesses. The content we cover is for informational purposes only. However, it is our experience using these oils, and we will share that with you, how they've worked for us and been effective. So.
All right, so we have some things that make us healthy, and one of those things is the diet. We know that diet is very important, and we don't have to coach you guys on
Hold on
that.
a second.
Oh, did I miss something?
You're jumping ahead.
Oh,
I think that was my fault. I gave you a pause there.
It's all right.
And yes. All right. So again, gents, what we are here to do is address the stereotype, right? The stereotype that most men have of using essential oils or using herbal products or healthy products in general, right? We think we got to get our stuff from GNC. It's got to be loaded with chemicals for it to work. We're here to tell you that's false. Okay. It's not enough for us as men to just stand, you know, that old joke where all the guys with daughters, they say, well, when my daughter gets older and she starts dating, you know, I'm going to come answer that door with a shotgun and let that boy know what's going on, right? It's not enough for us to act like that to protect our family, right? We actually have to be proactive, right? Proactive with not just our health, but with the health of our family, right? Our kids, our wives, to promote that sense of confidence, that sense of leadership as a man in our family, right?
And I would throw this in there that taking charge of your health and being the leader there is going to make you last long enough to where you can stand on that porch with that shotgun and beyond, and not trust in all these other things that we're putting in our bodies. I got a little saying for you. It's one of my favorites. It's time to ditch and switch.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, we need to start questioning what makes us healthy, right? Do the research, talk to people, right?
What are we going to ditch?
The toxins.
What are we going to switch to?
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
And we'll tell you what that stuff is later. All right, Brian, what are some of the things that could affect our health?
Okay, so number one, I said it earlier and I jumped ahead of the game, was diet. We all know diet is super important. Shouldn't have to talk about that, but putting good stuff in our bodies. We are not perfect. We don't want you to think that we're perfect with our diet. We know we all drive through that drive-through when we're desperate, right?
When we're desperate.
But we know that diet is very important. And I will say with the diet, this kind of lifestyle leads itself to having a better diet just naturally. And that's really something I was excited about.
Right. Oils promote a lifestyle, right? They promote a mindset. For you to wake up in the morning and go straight to your oils to get your day started, that's a mindset. You got to be thinking about that when you wake up. You got to be thinking about that when you go to sleep. And that's something Brian and I do. Like, one of the last things I do is put oils on my body before I go to sleep. One of the first things I do is put oils on my body when I wake up, right? So one of the biggest things that's happening in our bodies as men every day internally is the production of testosterone, right? Our testosterone levels and how that can affect us. So Brian, what are maybe some indicators if a man has low testosterone?
All right, guys, if you feel lethargic, if you're feeling tired, you're not motivated in life, depressed perhaps, just feeling overall low sex drive, all of those things could indicate that you're having lower testosterone levels. And I know a number of men who take synthetic testosterone, and that is now we're learning a lot about that and how it doesn't just affect that man. Those hormones actually switch and with everybody's body in that family. Synthetic testosterone. I know a number of guys taking that.
Yeah, I've talked to several guys and read stories of, men that have had low testosterone. They put that cream on, and then their daughters or their wives start having issues.
Yeah.
And they don't know what it is, and they get them tested, and they still don't know what it is, and then they realize, oh shoot, just by putting that cream on and then hugging my child or picking my child up, all that testosterone is leaching into their skin as well.
So we have exciting news for you. We have ways to boost your testosterone levels naturally.
Help boost. Again, we have to be compliant. So even if we believe something to be true, we got to be careful.
We got to watch.
Offline, we can tell you all the good stuff.
We got ways that will help boost. That's what you said.
Yes.
Testosterone levels, and do it naturally, and do it with plants and the things that they have that can enhance our testosterone levels. So what are some of those ways?
Well, the first is always going to be to limit your chemical exposure, right? Bad chemicals do bad things to your body, okay? It's pretty simple.
We all know we're overloaded with those.
Always. Whether it be, the stuff in the air, the stuff you clean with, the stuff you use to work out, you need to be really careful with what you're using. So the second is sex. Sex can help increase your testosterone levels.
But
right?
I have to have high, if I don't have a sex drive, I don't have low testosterone, how am I need to have more sex.
I can understand how that would be confusing to most.
What do I need first?
You need testosterone. Good testosterone promotes good sex, but good sex promotes good testosterone. So it's kind of a catch-22.
Got to get it started somehow. Yeah.
Exactly. And we'll give you some good ways to do that later. Good protein as well, okay? Lean beef, lean meats, venison is really high in protein. You got some fish, salmon and tuna, both really good with good proteins to help increase testosterone levels. And then also lifting weights. So working out in general, yes, good. Lifting weights, better to help your body produce testosterone. So when your body is stressed while lifting weights and those muscles tear, that's triggering your body to produce testosterone to help heal those muscles, right? So that doesn't happen as much when you're just running or swimming or something like that. Yes, those activities are good to promote health, not as good to help increase testosterone levels. Sleep is another one.
Sleep is highly important. We're finding out more and more and more about sleep, and we're getting rid of the last 100 years where we think, oh, I don't need sleep. I'm a man's man. I work. I only need 3 hours of sleep. We're finding out how that leads to disease, that leads to all kinds of problems with our body. So we've got ways to help you get sleep, not only get help with the sleep aid, but get deeper quality of sleep, enter that REM state of sleep where we now know our brain is actually getting smaller and flushing itself out every night. And if that's not happening and we're not getting good sleep, the testosterone level is going to be affected too. Correct. So we will show you guys how to.
Yeah, and we understand. I mean, like Erica said, I got 4 kids. Sleep is not always going to be long, right? But when it is that 5 hours, I want to make sure it's a good sleep. And we have some ways later. We'll talk about some oils that will help you with that. Some other things that help you increase testosterone levels are good vitamins, specifically vitamin D and zinc. And we got some products we'll talk about later over here and back here in the supplement line that have vitamin D and zinc in them.
And I want to throw in there, when you guys are going down that aisle, you know that aisle that we're talking about in the stores, whether it be those stores where you're getting your products for your armpits, for your teeth, for your face, for the shower, for the sink. There's another aisle for the kitchen, for all of that stuff. You start adding up
Laundry.
all of those things going in, and you look on those labels and you can't pronounce anything, and you start realizing I am overloading my family, and show me another way and I'll ditch and switch. We're gonna ditch those things, and for everything that you do in life, there is a product in Young Living that not only does that, but does it in a very healthy, natural way.
Yeah, almost all of those products Brian was talking about have something in the ingredients that says fragrance. If you see fragrance, put that sucker back on the shelf and walk away.
And I will throw in there, with that, you add up all the money that you're spending on that stuff, and you could switch to these natural products. When you switch and sign up with Young Living, you're automatically a small business owner. And if your wife has already signed up, she knows what she's doing. Wives are already ahead of the game on this. And it's not just a woman's thing. It's not just pretty little bottles and cute, smelly good stuff. This is like legit God-made products
Health.
that are health.
It's health in a
yes.
bottle.
And you feel good when you know that you're taking charge.
Yeah,
and
the
not
business
trusting.
opportunity
Yeah.
here is really good as well. We'll talk
Awesome.
about that later. So when we have issues, gentlemen and ladies, this goes for you too. When we have issues, it's usually one of two things, right? It's a toxicity or it's a deficiency. If it's a toxicity, we need to limit our exposure, right? If it's bad, toxic, limit it, right?
Ditch.
Get it away, get it out, ditch it, right? If it's a deficiency, which almost all of us are now because it's hard to find good quality food, or it takes a lot of time to plant your own and use it, right? If it's a deficiency, we need to supplement for it.
Multi-greens, you got everything you can need. Yeah, this is just an example.
Exactly. But remember, you can't out supplement a bad diet, okay? So
Which using this way of life
Going-
helps you with your diet, which
Exactly.
is a yes. whole
but going through that McDonald's drive-through once in a while, okay. Every day, breakfast and lunch, not okay, right?
Right.
We know, most of you have kids, some of you may not, but you're busy. We know that going through that McDonald's drive-through for lunch on the way home from the park because your kids are about to crash and you don't want them to fall asleep in the car. So you swing through McDonald's, you give them something to eat, you throw the food at them in the back, they eat it on the way home, and when they get home, they can, because you don't want them to fall asleep in the car, right?
That's
If they do, they're going to miss their nap.
I
If they miss their nap, that's no good for mom or dad, right? So you get them that food, right? So once in a while, that's okay. But we know that when we're doing that, we're supplementing with good stuff, right?
And before we go on, he's got 4 little kids. I have 4 bigger kids.
Yeah, yours is about 8 years ahead of mine.
That's right. I calculated that today, and I was like, wow. So I'm pulling for this guy. He's
The
gonna
huge,
do it, yes.
his daughter's actually babysitting my
That's
kids right
right.
now. So,
I think we need to stand up here real quick. That's
oh yeah, real men use real oils.
You need to see this. It's not just dudes use oils or men use oils. This, we need to look at it. Real men use real oils.
Our wives got these shirts, but we're proud to wear them.
We're proud of them. I am going to talk about why.
Yeah, so tell us
these-
why these oils, Brian.
Yeah.
What makes these so special?
These real oils. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
They're not synthetic. There's nothing in them that is wrong, that's toxic or anything to your health. It's only the plants. So let me talk real quick about the oils that come from Young Living. Young Living, I've been to the farm. I've seen the plants go from the ground, harvested, and into a distillery, and see the oil being collected in that. It goes straight into the bottle. And what do we call that, Colin? What is that guarantee?
That Young Living calls that the seed to seal process.
Seed to seal. You will see that all over. Look right here on this bottle. It says seed to seal, and you'll see that on Young Living stuff everywhere. You will not see that in any other company in the world. Young Living has been around for 25 years, and that promise, they can hold that promise because they own their own farms. They partner with farms all around the world, and they know exactly where that stuff is grown. So they're not hiring out third parties to get their ingredients and not knowing where stuff has come from. Any oil that you see on the shelf in a Walmart or anywhere else that you can just go pick up and buy, you are getting inferior oils with other stuff added to it to make it smell good, to make it whatever. And I got to tell you, some of these oils don't smell good, but they do the job that they're supposed to do. They don't smell good, and that, I think that's pretty manly. It's like, I'm going to use this anyway. That is that plant only. So let me talk about
There's ways to use those oils that don't smell so good.
an oil. This right here. That's right. There is this plant right here is a lemon branch. I just cut this off a second ago out right by our walkway, and I wasn't thinking when I planted it. Look at the size of those thorns there. Oh my gosh, look at that. So people walk by this all the time and get pricked. So I need to dig it out and move it to protect people. But look at that. That is a physical defense right there. What is an oil? If I grab this bottle of lemon oil, this lemon oil is from the lemon plant. And why does the lemon plant make this oil? First of all, the oil is not the blood. It's not the blood of the plant. That's more the chlorophyll, the veins moving water around, all that kind of stuff. It's not that. The oil is excreted by the plant to attract pollinators, to defend itself from predators, and to also defend itself from bacteria and fungus. Keep that in mind. So as
Defense.
defense. So imagine the properties, it excretes that to protect itself. If we can take those properties and use them in our lives, think about how we could benefit from that, right? Every oil is different in its chemical composure. And you've got things like cedar wood, you've got rosewood, you've got eucalyptus, cinnamon bark, and all of these plants have different defenses, different ways of doing things. So that's the oil, guys. It is not just something that is produced in a factory, made to smell good, and you put it in the air and you're like, oh, wow, we have a spa now. It smells like a spa. Everybody's like,
Yeah, it's like transferring those defenses or those attractors on yourself, right?
Yes.
So by taking it topically or internally,
yes.
yeah.
So
Understood.
just let me say it one more time. I've been to the farm, one of the farms. I've seen lavender. I've seen a couple of other plants, can't remember what they were, be harvested. They get harvested by hand. They get planted by hand. The soil that they grow them in is pesticide free. And so that is why the Seed to Seal exists, because they're the best quality oils on the planet. Love it.
Awesome. All right, so what are some of these oils? Well, like Brian mentioned, you have single oils, right? From either a lemon or a eucalyptus or a lavender
There's
or a
eucalyptus.
cedar wood, right? And then you have blends. You have blends like Thieves and Valor and Peace and Calm, and we'll talk about some of those later.
Yes.
But a blend is just when they take a few different oils and they're formulated for a very specific purpose. And usually that purpose is on the bottle, like Peace and Calming, right? So those oils have been specially selected to promote peace and calming, right?
That's right. So we're going to talk about 3 ways. Well, before I jump into that, what are the ways that we can get these oils into our bodies? Listen up, man. How do we get these oils, these molecules into our body?
Well, the first is aromatically. You can diffuse it. We got our diffuser going right back here with Valor in it.
Here's one here.
Give us
Keep
all
talking,
a
keep
little
talking.
pick me up. So you fill your diffuser, put 2 or 3 drops in to start. If you're new to oils and you're not quite sure how that's going to affect you or the family or the dog or the cat, whatever, 2 to 3 drops to start, see how that goes. And if you got a big living room, you might need more. If you got a smaller room, you might need less. So just trial and error there with those, but start small and go from there.
Easy to fill up, easy to get going. Imagine one of these by your bedside.
There you go. Another way is to just take so I got peppermint here, take the top off the bottle. That one's not open. We'll do deeper. Top off the bottle, smell it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Awesome.
It's got
Okay,
that
so we
weird
got 2
smell.
ways. We've got,
You can also put a couple drops in your hands
yeah.
right there. What do you call it? Jordan said it last night. Tent something.
Oh yeah, what is it? Vent tent or something like that? I don't know. But
Yeah.
on the spot, if you're feeling stressed, you start knowing how these oils work. You know which one to use, which I know a lot of you are overwhelmed, but that's that's the mindset switch. You will figure that stuff out. And
So aromatically, oils can help purify the air, boost energy, increase focus, and promote restful sleep, which again, we all need that kind of stuff.
which one would you diffuse by your bedside at night? If you had
Ooh, at
choice?
night, probably the peace and calming.
Okay, I would go for the lavender
Lavender is
cedarwood
good.
combo.
Yeah.
I never knew that 13 years ago. Now I know.
Another way is topically. Now this is my personal favorite
Okay.
because with this one, just me consciously, I feel like if I'm putting it on topically, I'm not wasting any of that oil, right? So I'll put a couple drops on, all of it's going into my body and I know it. So my favorite is Valor. We got the Valor roll on here. You got the dropper bottle. You just put a couple drops right here on the arm, forearm, wrist,
Mhm.
rub it in. I can put it behind my neck.
You use
And-
frankincense in the
and I've got
morning,
that.
don't you? After you shave, how do
Yep.
you use that? With the-
With the
Aftershave?
aftershave, right? We'll go over that later.
Okay. All right.
Just run through here. Yeah, so topically it's good there. The feet are really good. Why are the feet good,
The
right?
feet are great to put the oils on, and this one is a not so good smelling oil, but it does a trick with sleep. And it's got a roll on. You roll it on the bottom of your feet. The oils have been known to have shown to go into the bloodstream very quickly. In seconds, they're in your bloodstream. You think about all the reflexology, and you look at a map of the foot, and you see all the organs that are connected with the nerves down to the feet. So putting it on the feet gets it into your bloodstream quickly, gets it all the way up to your brain, and that is crossing the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah, studies have actually been done on how quickly the molecules or the sesquiterpenes in the oils get through the body, right? So in about 22 seconds, the molecules from the oils are in your brain, right? Especially when it's put on the feet, because the feet have those extra sensory, right? So it's just straight shot right to the brain. Your brain
So-
starts processing what it's realizing from those oils, right?
That's
In
awesome.
about 2 minutes, it's in the bloodstream, and in about 20 minutes, every cell in your body has been affected.
Yes.
It's insane. From one drop of oil.
And in inhaling that, it's the same way. So we talked about aromatic, we got diffusing in the air, cleaning the air, all that kind of stuff, smelling. And then we got topically, and what's the last way we can get it in?
The last way is internally, right? There's a couple of different ways to do that. The easiest is to just take the cap off the bottle,
Right here.
drop that
These.
sucker right in.
During seasons when things are going around, you start feeling a sore throat, drop thieves right on the back of your throat. That's a manly way to do it. Kind of kicks you up, but man,
If you need something on the go, right? You're doing a regimen where you're taking 2 capsules 3 times, 4 times daily. You can preload your capsules. Brian will show you kind of what that's like.
these are some vegetable capsules made by Young Living. It looks like that, little clear capsules. You take the top off and you start filling them up. You can make these ahead of time and
So you can preload your health in a capsule.
preload if it's too much. Some of these oils are hot oils, and that means that they kind of burn. And so you want to be careful. So if you want to get those in your body quickly, then all you got to do is make a capsule. And I know my wife makes these ahead of time. So there's yours, buddy. Go ahead.
Thank you much.
You have a water?
I do. I'll take you here in a second.
I'm going to take mine.
So another good way is to put it in a drink, right? We got Nietzsche Red back here. Ryan and I both like to put Thieves or
Did you see me
peppermint.
dropping lemon in my water?
Yeah, or lemon, all the citrus oils, right? So Young Living makes these vitality oils, right? So they are approved by the FDA, safe for internal consumption, okay? Between you and me, this is the same oil
Which one you got there?
that's in
Peppermint?
this,
All right.
right? These are both peppermint. White label vitality, green label regular peppermint, same exact oil, okay? According to the government though, you can't take this one internally and you can't put this one on your body.
Same exact thing.
All right. But with your drink, like last night, my wife, she had a Blue Moon beer. You were over practicing
Yeah.
this, you saw it.
Yes.
Blue Moon, she liked some orange in it. We didn't have any. Took the orange vitality, a couple drops, bam, she was
Yes.
happy.
Good for cooking. Get it in your body, aromatically, topically, or ingest.
And then Young Living also has a lot of supplements that we'll quickly run through a little bit later. But those are good, again, for your to supplement with your vitamins.
Yes. So now we're
So,
going to
some
talk
of our
about
favorites.
Yeah, we're going to
Lead us
talk
on.
about single oils first. I mean, this is straight from the plant into the bottle. Okay. I've already hit on it, and I'm just going to demonstrate this again. Lemon is my favorite. It cleans things. It it breaks down petrochemicals in our world, and it helps us.
Give
in
us an
so many
example
ways.
of that. Show, because
Real
this is pretty
quick,
cool.
I also thought of
Show the
this.
people.
We used to rub this on our children's tubes in their ears, right, when they were when they were little, to prevent ear infections. And I tell you, it was so good to help them stay healthy. So one of my favorite things here is you got labels.
To help prevent ear infection.
I see my wife
We don't know what it
reacting. I don't
does,
know
but-
what. Did I go non-compliant there or something?
Probably.
So this right here, I want you to see this, guys. This is, I just got a couple bottles here. I don't know which one you can see better, but that product that you buy from the store that removes labels, I think you all know what I'm talking about, is not so good for us and has a lot of things that we want to ditch and switch. So why don't you ditch and switch, be a man here, and take this lemon oil and start using it in your garage, have a bottle in your car or at work, whatever, but watch this. I peeled this label, and you know how tough it is to get those labels off, right? You can boil the jar and get it hot, but if you put a little drop of lemon on there, take a paper towel and just start rubbing away. Look at that. I feel like a ShamWow commercial or something. Look at that. Can you believe that? It's amazing. It just wipes that stickum plastic stuff right off. So one of my favorite oils because it has so many uses. And think about if you were ingesting this and putting this in your body, of course, with the Vitality one. Imagine if it's doing that to the stuff on that bottle, what it's cleaning out in you with all the petrochemicals that we're exposed to and all the plastic bottles and all the plastics that are inside of us from daily living. And this is my go-to. Thanks.
Oh, you gotta go on the styrofoam, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's that doing to the inside of you?
Okay, so inside of you, forgot my other little demo.
Well, show us the one you did last night.
Okay, so I'm gonna drop this first, Colin, because I want to get it started. So here's a couple drops of lemon to show you what it's doing inside of you on a piece of styrofoam. And this is the one we dropped last night. I hope I'm showing you that correctly. But that is all dissolved right there. And you can see it kind of working right there. It's already made an indentation and just incredible. It's a great demo to understand the power of lemon. And that is all located in the lemon plant. And now it's seed to seal in the bottle, the purest stuff.
That's pretty awesome.
Colin, what is your favorite?
All right, one of my favorite is
Single.
lavender.
Lavender.
One of my favorite singles is lavender for its topical and aromatic purposes.
Yes.
Mostly.
Did you bring
Lavender, I did not. I forgot and couldn't find it. But
So-
lavender is good for a lot of topical issues.
We were going to compare it to a Swiss Army knife, or guys, your Gerber knife.
Your Gerber knife.
And Marines carry Gerber knives?
Always.
Okay.
Mine's in my car. I just left it in there.
So lavender is like a Gerber knife.
Yep. Because it has multiple purposes, right? So
Like what?
good for all things, pretty much skin, helps with calming the body for
Yes.
sleep, right? You said you like to use it
I
in
would
your diffuser at night.
Diffuse
for
this,
sleep.
put it on at night. Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, that goes through our house at night with our kids because for some reason 7 o'clock rolls around and their energy level goes up instead of down, right? So we use our oils heavily at night to get everybody ready for bed. So lavender's a good relaxant in our family.
Yes. What about burns?
Yes, so there was a doctor, a French scientist, René Gattefossé. If I said that right, I don't know. I tried to say that French. But he was the first to discover the ability of lavender to promote tissue regeneration and speed wound healing.
Yes.
Right? When he burned himself in a lab explosion.
Yeah.
That sounds like
man. And we have burns all the time in our family. And the other day I was surfing and I got roughed up on the reef pretty bad on my arm and my leg. And immediately when I started the care process, that's what I put on my wound.
Lavender, really.
Thanks to my wife.
So how bad
Didn't
are those,
believe it at first, man. I was a skeptic. Now I see those studies.
So how
I see
bad are
the
those
stuff.
scratches now?
Oh man, look at them. They're almost completely gone. It's amazing. So
I wonder what could have done that.
I've seen it heal, or I've seen it not heal, but aid in the process of soothing burns and cuts from my kids.
So what's another one?
Another one is cedarwood. Cedarwood.
I call these next two are Bible oils.
Yes.
Cedarwood and frankincense.
Grandma had a cedar chest. Raise your hand out there if anybody had a cedar chest. You know what that is. You know why it's there. It's for some reason you know that it was there to keep out insects and to keep clothes fresh. And this is one of the manliest trees in my opinion, in the world, and has so many uses. Cedar wood is in cathedral. There's cathedrals out there that have doors, their front doors made out of these. They're hundreds of years old. And there's ships that are being found in the Sea of Galilee and all over that were made out of cedar wood, because cedar wood has the oil in it, which does all those things I was talking about. Remember, plant defenses, protecting themselves from insects and predators, and also funguses and bacteria. Imagine what it could do for us if we're taking that. And that's why those woods last so long. But in the Bible, what's it talking about as far as?
Yeah, so cedar was mentioned 103 times in the Bible. God actually told Solomon, after he brought the Jews into the promised land, he told Solomon to build that first temple and line it with cedar wood because of its
one of the uses
promoting properties for
focus and meditation. And side note, promoting hair well, a little bit.
what we can legally say is we use it on our head at night to help us sleep.
We use it on our head at night. So sleep, and all those other properties that the plant has.
Yeah, so frankincense is another good one.
Yes.
I love this oil.
More expensive than gold at one time, right?
Yes, the Egyptians, back in the 16th century BC, the Egyptians used frankincense for pretty much everything.
Embalming people to keep them preserved. I mean, think about that. Oh, that was cedar. Sorry. Okay, sorry. What did they use frankincense for?
Well, it's mentioned in one of the oldest medical records, right, which is called the Ebers Papyrus. Some of you may have heard about that. So that was from the 16th century BC. So it's mentioned in that medical record 877 times as either a prescription or a recipe for a remedy.
That's awesome.
For an illness.
Who can say what Jesus was given at his birth? Let's mouth
Gold.
it. Ready? Gold,
Frankincense, and myrrh.
Yes. Love it. So
Three of the most expensive things in that day.
And I like it because comes from the boswellia tree, which grows in very harsh conditions, and it comes from the resin that comes out, and then they distill that.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier how I like to use frankincense. So after I shave, which these days is only about once or twice a week instead of every day, like when I was in the Marine Corps.
Let me demonstrate.
But
I just shaved this morning.
a little bit of shave lotion in your hand, 1 to 2 drops of frankincense, rub that sucker together on your face, your neck, and it's amazing.
You got 3.
Feels great.
Manly.
Looks great.
Yes. Let's see how it
Look at
goes.
that glow.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
All right, let's go into some blends while
Okay. What is a blend,
Brian's
Colin? While I'm
lotioning up.
lotioning up.
So a blend again is several oils specifically formulated for a purpose. So what's one of your favorites?
My favorite is Thieves. And guys, I want you to listen up here with the Thieves. There's a whole line of products with Thieves. Story has it, story is told about the bubonic plague, and you guys can look this up. In the bubonic plague, there was thieves. There were robbers that went and stole jewelry and other valuables from dead bodies in their houses and all around. And when they were caught, the king made them confess their secret. Turns out they knew the powers of all of these herbs. I can't say that word, apothecaries. Yeah, I think that's what they were. They knew the power of these herbs. And so they were wearing that in a mask so that they wouldn't get, they didn't know about microbes necessarily, but they knew that had power. So Thieves is my favorite blend. It's called Thieves. It's one of those blends that has a name. Now you know why it's called that, but here's the bottle of it. This is a mixture of eucalyptus, clove, rosemary, lemon, and one more time. Cinnamon bark. And man, those all have studies behind them. Please look up individually those oils. It's amazing. And so one of my favorite game changers was when we were introduced to the Thieves household cleaner, because these oils are in here concentrated, and then you mix it up for a spray. And this is what your kids clean the table with. They clean the windows with. You can clean your car with. We just saw a guy who cleaned his car seats with it just the other day online, and that was awesome. And so it's got so many uses that it's got to be my favorite. And by the way, I tell my custodians that come and clean my room every day, please don't use your stuff. And I mean, it's bad. Please use this, and then make a bottle. Erica makes a bottle for me to keep it there for him. So these can be taken internally, and it has just so many uses and so many helpful things. So I don't want to go on and on, but that's my favorite blend.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
There's a roll on of it right here. So
yeah, and this is the oil that really got me started with all the oils. So when we started about 2.5 years ago, well, really we've been using them for about 10 years, but 2.5 years ago was really when we got going on oils. And Valor was one of the first oils that I actually put on my body, and just could not believe how it made me feel. And the results that I was getting mentally, emotionally, the support from Valor. And this is an oil that I put on almost every morning. So when I said I wake up and put oil on, that's what it is.
And you can do the research on the men of valor, the Roman soldiers that they used to put this on their shields before battle, and it promotes a sense of manliness, right?
Exactly.
And I got to throw the thieves in there. This is the reason that I came to Young Living, y'all. This is what I was told to put on my son's feet. Remember that story I told you at the beginning? When he was on his way out, that's what I put on his feet to fight back against things. So
So now that we're manly because we got our Valor on, we're going to move right into sensation. So this oil, gents.
to what? We're moving into
Sensation.
We're moving into
Sense.
sensation.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Sensation oil. So this is an oil blend. It's got some of those emotional oils in it, right? Coriander, ylang ylang, bergamot, some of that stuff.
Here it is, sensation.
I like to call this oil.
Go ahead. I'm just peeling back the label. Go ahead.
There you go. I like to call this oil the communication oil for men.
Yes.
Because we're not all the best communicators.
There's the ingredients. Look it up. Sensation.
But sensation's awesome diffused in a room, topically, correct?
Yes.
Where might you use that
I
topic?
want to ask you again, why is it a good communication? I was peeling back the label.
Well, okay. So, men, we're not the best communicators, correct? So, it's not always the right time or the right place, or we're not always comfortable going up to the wife, either on the couch.
How
or
do you
at the
ask?
desk.
Do you want to do it?
Hey,
Do you-
babe,
you wanna
is tonight
have-
okay? Like,
yeah, are you in the mood?
babe, you want to go upstairs? And
No, I'm not in the mood. Why did you?
But
Don't
gents,
ever ask.
just remember, it's important to get your chores done, right? Clean that living room so when she wakes up in the morning after you've gone to work early, she doesn't have a messy house to wake up to, right?
I just heard this the other day.
Clean
That's
that
called-
living room, do those dishes, so she doesn't have to wake up to crap in the sink, right?
It's called chore play.
Do your chore play, right? If that's what you're wanting, do your chore play.
Plus.
But again, this is the communication oil because after you've done your chore play and she's on the couch,
Mhm.
you say, hey, babe, I'm going to go up and get ready for bed. You haul your butt upstairs quickly, fill your diffuser, put your sensation in there, and then you just wait. You wait. That's your communication.
It's already
She now
communication.
comes into the room. She smells sensation. She's like, oh, Brian
Yes.
is looking for something.
And then when things finally start coming around and jiving, you can.
And she's already in a
actually-
good mood because she left the living room clean. She walked past the sink and saw the dishes were done. Now she's headed
Oh, yeah.
upstairs in a good mood. She smells the sensation.
And once things
What does that
get
lead to?
happening, you can actually put this on topically, which
Mm.
leads. Can you show us an example of what it might lead to?
Well, this is our goldenrod.
Oh, we'll show you that later. But you can put this on topically. So we got aromatic.
to increase the sensation, correct?
That's right, topically, and that might lead to.
But you won't know if you don't try it. And after you try it, then you can ask your wife, hey, babe, how did that feel?
Yes.
Right? Now,
Internal.
so you got aromatic, use,
aromatic.
a topical use. And if you
Yes.
use both of those properly and you've properly prepped, it'll just become an internal oil. It's that simple.
And you went there. It became internal.
I'm sorry. I just, it's science.
Love it. Love it. Sensation. What's the next one? Oh,
All right, sensation. So we got sensation. Let's move on to our reproductive performance oils.
okay.
Because that's what we like to
Reproductive
call them, right?
Let's
That's what
ditch,
Young Living calls them.
ditch and switch our colognes. This one, Shootron,
Shootron.
has
Amazing.
been formulated to. Here's all you gotta do. Put it on your wrist, rub it here. That's what you do, right? Gets it going, and this is your cologne from now on. It's amazing. People will be asking you all the time what you have.
So
on
for
your
men,
cologne.
there's a whole Shootron line. Again, we showed you the aftershave.
Yep. They have
There's
the body
bar
wash,
soap, there's
yep,
body wash,
Yep.
amazing stuff, right?
beard oil, everything for you. Men.
So let's move on to the goldenrod then. Tell us
Okay.
about goldenrod, Brian.
Goldenrod, I don't have in front of me here. Goldenrod, there's studies on goldenrod, which is a yellow type flower, and that can be applied topically during intimate
There's an easy
times.
way to explain what goldenrod does for us men.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a man, before he puts goldenrod on,
Listen to the name.
This is a man after.
That's right. So
It's quite simple.
we went there as well. Did you guys see that?
Easy.
Oh yeah, I did. I do want to say that this is when you come around men and you start realizing that your wives actually know what they're talking about with these oils, and you start buying in, intimacy increases because you showed her love and you showed that you care instead of saying those things don't work and I'm not even going to try to learn about them. That is unmanly. I mean, I have a lot of people that just like, those don't work. I know they don't work, and I'm going to do things I've always done. And
Yeah, I've never even tried them.
And that does not turn the light on. So when you start using these intimate oils and you know they can be used in the bedroom, you start working together to make the experience awesome, and it becomes a lot more meaningful. So it enhances mood, it enhances circulation, and those things start jiving so you can go longer on your enjoyment there.
So after you've had all your excitement at night, what do you do to help wind down and go to sleep?
Help wind down to go to sleep. Well, if that's not enough, and on nights where that is not taking place, then Rutavala is a roll-on. I put it on my feet. It does not smell good. Get over it. It works though. So wouldn't you rather have great sleep and put this on? You can put it
Hey,
on
if
the
you don't
bottom
like
of
the
your feet.
smell, put some socks on it.
Yeah, put it on your feet.
Don't even smell it.
Yes. This has 3 things in it. It has a ruta root. That's where the root comes from. Valerian. Valerian is the one that I told my wife when I first smelled that. She was putting that on straight, valerian on her feet. I was like, don't you ever put that on again. What is that? But it's now in here in this blend. And then last one, the LA there, Rutavala, is lavender. Great blend, knocks you out, promotes sleep. My kids can't even,
Helps knock you out.
helps knock you out. And my kids they put it on, they know these oils too. So I want you to know, men, when you start using this stuff, your kids start using it too. You become a happy family.
All right, one we like to use in our house is peace and calming at
Yes.
night. Again, those kids get crazy at night.
Mhm.
The peace and calming for our family and our kids' diffusers in their rooms really helps them just kind of
Yes.
tone
Every
it down a
night,
notch
yeah.
at night, and and they love that in their diffuser. They even know how to do it themselves. The 5-year-old.
All right, let's
It's
talk
all
about pain, Colin. Men, you have
The
pain in your
pan, the pan.
the
You know,
pan.
just
We're
when your
gonna talk
body
about
doesn't
pain.
quite feel right. So I
Yes.
think we got to be careful with what we say.
Yeah, you're good.
So we don't quite feel right. When I don't quite feel right, I like to use Panaway. This is post-workout. Muscles are
Yes.
just a bit off, right? I'm not quite sure. I need just a little bit of help.
That was
With that
one that brought
recovery.
you around too, right?
Panaway, yes. I did a workout one day, had a bunch of pull-ups in it, and my biceps were shot. I had like the T-Rex arms, right? Couldn't really straighten it without it hurting. So I'll put the Panaway on there. It's got wintergreen, helichrysum, clove, and peppermint in it. So it's got that kind of that wintergreen smell,
Yes.
which I like. Kind of makes it smell like Ben Gay, but
Yes.
anyway. But a lot better without all the chemicals. So that was one, along with Deep Relief, does kind of a similar thing right
Yep.
there. Very similar oils, peppermint, clove, copaiba, wintergreen again, and helichrysum again.
Yes, sir.
Both of those outstanding pre and post workout.
Ditch and switch that stuff.
For the muscles that just don't quite feel
Start
right.
using that. That's right. All right. So we talked about supplements earlier and how
Just a
these.
few, yeah.
I do want to mention, we're going to talk real quick on supplements, and the supplements that you can order from Young Living are so wonderful because they are bioavailable. The oils are infused into these products. And so instead of going shopping everywhere else, this is a one-stop shop, and this is the oils are in here, which makes it bioavailable, which means your body can metabolize it, process it easier, and there's nothing else like this with these seed-to-seed oils in these products. So what do we got here?
Yeah, infusing the oils into the products is revolutionary, and it's actually absolutely amazing for your body. So I'll start with, since we were talking about working out, and that's something hopefully you guys like to do. Again, lifting weights increases testosterone production. Powergize, good pre and post to help the body. Amino-wise, all your amino acids, right? Good post-workout. And then your pure protein, okay? This protein has digestive enzymes in it. Our bodies are not formulated or designed to digest protein in the powder form. Okay, they're used to you chewing meat, mainly chewing meat, chewing steak, chewing chicken,
That's
venison, right?
Yes.
Chewing that meat, that starts the digestive process down into the stomach, continues the digestive process. When you drink a protein, your body is not registering that there's protein in there, right?
Right.
So you need those digestive enzymes to digest all of that protein. So you're not wasting it, right? Your body's
Yes.
using all of it.
That's awesome.
And Young Living's protein has digestive enzymes in it. So really good there. What else we got? We got some Super C, all right? I know Facebook or Instagram, they might censor your post because you say Super C is good, or
Yeah.
you say vitamin C is good for, promoting health in the body,
Right.
but vitamin C is good for promoting health in the body. And Young Living makes a really good vitamin C. It's called Super C. Do that.
Awesome.
Again, protein. They have these little protein bites. I didn't eat breakfast this morning, but I had one of these, okay? 12 grams of protein in one of these little things. Grab it and go. There you go. Ningxia, whole Ningxia line. This is amazing. I can't say this enough.
Ningxia Red comes from the wolfberry. They highly beneficial berry. You can look that up, the wolfberry.
High in
Infused.
antioxidants, right? Again, great for promoting health.
And then they infuse it with the oils that are beneficial for your body. So Colin.
This is also great when we were talking about internal oils. Your citrus vitality oils, so all your lemons, your limes, your oranges, your tangerines, citrus fresh, those are great with Ningxia.
Yes. There we go. There's two. Man,
Cheers.
you're living.
All right.
Ah, good. So good.
So, how do we get all these oils, man?
Well, you have a
All these supplements.
premium starter kit, and Young Living has gone out of their way to make a military starter kit for all of those of us overseas. Certain oils are not allowed to come over here because of volatility.
Dangerous goods, they're
Dangerous
called.
goods list, yeah. And so there's starter kits, and I want you to contact whoever invited you to this, and you were ready to sign up. Contact us, and we'll get you started with that starter kit. A lot of these oils are in there, and that will get you started on your way. As soon as you sign up, I love how you said you are automatically a small business. Take on that business challenge and create a legacy for your family. Husbands and wives can both sign up. Kids can sign
Yeah,
up.
so when you join a network marketing company, any network marketing company, the government, the IRS, considers you a small business owner, right? If you intend to make an income, it's all about intent. If you intend to make an income by sharing once a week, once a month, 5 times a week, whatever it is, if you intend to make an income by sharing, you can then use a lot of the products or any of the items that you use for that business is a tax write-off. Right?
Yes.
You can save yourself thousands of dollars a year just by saying you're a small business owner by being part of a network marketing company. Right?
So when you get started with the starter kit, and you'll get yours today, and you order it, and then you should also, it's a great thing to sign up for what?
Essential rewards.
Essential
right?
rewards.
So
ER.
Young Living has an essential rewards program, much like that of, let's say, Target. When you get the Target credit card, right, you get 5% back on all your purchases. Well, Young Living's like, well, Target, they laugh at you, right?
Yes.
So Young Living says, well, we're going to give you 10% for 3 months, and then
Yes.
after that, we're going to give you 20% back. And then if you're with us for 2 years and you stay on ER, we're going to give you 25% back on everything you buy. So if you spend $100, you get 25%. That's 1/4 back. You can
That's
almost
amazing.
buy another oil or two with
Young
$25.
Living knows what they're doing with the business mindset, and they've been around for 25 years. And let me show you an example here.
And all you have to do is spend $50 a month to stay on ER. It's simple. That's it.
$50 a month.
With all the stuff we showed you, that's a no-brainer, gents. You
You-
throw
you've
out
seen-
your protein and you get $50.
All that aisle, they never have to go down that aisle. This is a
Those
one-stop
aisles,
shop.
yeah.
Those aisles, yes.
That store, GNC.
And it comes to your house. That's awesome.
Yeah, so after that, then you have the business opportunity that Young Living presents you with, right?
So this is, hopefully you guys can see this. This is a new purchase for me. This is a Traeger grill. And I have been wanting one of these for a long time. I consulted friends and they said, yeah, that's the one you want, go with it. And I've not regretted it. So far I've told probably 20, 30 people.
I hate you for that.
Calling
Because
one
you-
one of these.
Told all your friends, and I didn't jump on it soon enough. And I went to buy a grill, and they're all gone now.
You probably can't
You
see
too,
this.
Kelly, if you're watching.
it's a pellet grill. And I could go on and on with the science behind this and how it's connected to Wi-Fi and all this kind of stuff for a guy like me that doesn't know how to cook that well. This has made my life awesome. I've told so many men about it, and it was easy to tell them about it. So what if I were able to?
Yeah, it's too bad Traeger or the BX didn't give you $50
That's too bad.
when you told all your friends.
So you're
and they went
saying-
and bought a grill.
Young Living is easy to tell about because it's so great, but I can get rewards for that, for spreading
Of
the
course.
news.
Yeah, Young Living gives you $50 every time you tell somebody about it and they sign up using your code. It's that easy.
That is that easy. And I do want to say that we have done Young Living or have used Young Living for 13 years, right? It took me a while to come around to see the light, but when I did, I started using it. And I told Erica, we're not doing the business. We're not doing the business. And we lived that way for years. But we still told people, and people said, like, how do I get that? And they signed up, but we were not doing the business because of my bad attitude. I realized how foolish that was. And because it's so easy to tell people about this way of life, that now my son is signed up.
Yeah, you're
I have
helping
an account. You're helping people. So I'm passionate about the product.
You just happen to make money at the same time.
And then the product, the ability to have other people's lives change with a business plan.
Yeah, it
is
really
exciting.
is a community. When you share, when you tell people,
Mhm.
and when people sign up and they start using the oils,
It's incredible.
it's a community.
It's incredible.
And us guys, especially, it's different. Like Jordan, Brian and I are on his Facebook group just for men that
Yes.
use Young Living essential oils. And it's awesome. There's over 6,000 guys in this group. And we just talk and chat.
Mhm.
And every once in a while, there's somebody that has a question about oils, but it's mostly just guys putting up funny memes and, and then prayer requests and things like that. It's an absolutely amazing.
And to hear the stories
amazing
of how
program.
this has changed their life is really encouraging when you feel like you're the only one, only guy that's buying into this or using this. And you realize that your wife knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But other guys are constantly, what is that? Voodoo oil. What is that? Hocus pocus. That's snake oil. It's done. We're done with hearing that argument. Just educate
Yeah, so
yourself.
when you
do
sign
research.
up, you get help. You get people that help you. When you sign up under Brian or myself or our wives or anybody that invited you to this class, you get them. They are
Yes.
part of you signing up for Young Living. You get their help.
So
You can text or email Brian and I anytime. We'll be glad to tell you
Yes.
anything that you've learned in this class
that is
and more.
that has changed
Because we
my
don't have
life.
to worry about compliance.
To get help. Colin has taught me stuff that I never knew, and he's only been using it for two years. And so we have just taken off together. It's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Colin, I think you should wrap this up. I'm gonna
Yeah, so
end
again,
with a quote.
if you're interested in any of this, contact the person that invited you. They will know how to get you started. And again, if you got any questions, well, you can ask them now. If you got to get going, we understand. Email, text us later. But I guess we'll throw it back to
Well,
Eric.
remember this quote and see if you remember it. A healthy man has 1,000 dreams, or 1,001 or 1,010, something like that. Healthy
Lots.
man has 1,000 dreams, but an unhealthy man has
Just
one dream, and that is to get the health
Just wants
back.
to be healthy.
And come on now, let's keep our health. If it's dwindling, let's get it back. But men, it's time for you to do your research, find out the science, figure it out. But let's jump on board and let's be men. And remember, real men use what?
Real things.
oils. Young Living's the real.
Not
deal.
just oils, but real oils.
Peace.
Thank you, Min. Thank you so much. That was an epic moment in our life. It will go down in the books.
Hey, I saw your face when we talked about sensation being internal.
That was the best moment of the whole class. So we made sure. And
Watch now, just because you know it's true.
oh my gosh! Wow! Yes. Okay. So yes, I mean, I'm really sad for the other hundreds of people that did not join us today for this class because they missed out. Seriously. So do not worry though. We are recording this class, so it will be available for your team members to enjoy too, in case they didn't get to come here today and hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Hello, that was just amazing. Thank you, all of you. We are so thankful for the fact that you invested your time in health and wellness, and you deserve health and wellness. We all want to see you achieve it. I love that Brian was talking about ditching and switching. He mentioned that's his favorite quote, which is super funny because I'm always talking about it with the team. yes, we want you to ditch and switch. And ER is the fastest way to do it, like they mentioned. But it's not only the fastest, the smartest. When you do Essential Rewards, though, if you just spend 50 PV, your eradication of toxins in your home is going to be a slow process and may take over a year. But if you are spending 100 PV or 300 PV, you're going to clean out super fast. So some of you here on the team, I sent you a flyer this month on 5 months to a toxin-free home. And everything the guys talked about today, a lot of those products are in that flyer. So enjoy that information. Take time. Oh, yes, and that too. Now you'll never look at your Young Living tubes the same way again. Right? Thank you, men, for trying to do your best to stay compliant. It is very hard to be compliant, and you did. We're going to say you did all right. So thank you. The other best moment in this class was the fact that I heard several times that your wife knows what she's talking about. Did anybody write that down? Your wife knows what she's talking about. Let's just all say cheers. Do a shot of Ningxia, a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, wherever you are. Let's all cheers to that. Your wife is smart. If she found Young Living and is kicking out the toxins for your family. Get on board and she will feel even more loved. And you guys, yes, will even have some sensational moments. Now, remember, get with your person that brought you to this class so that you can grab your starter kit. We want you to get the kit that's best for you. The first person that joins our team that is not yet on our team today will get one of those shirts. You see those men? Those shirts are pretty awesome. Colin's is green. It doesn't really show up green, but his is green and Brian's is black. We have an extra one for the first person that joins, along with our superhero blend that will go in this roller for you. Men, we're also thankful. We want you to teach your next class, maybe next month, on beer and oils.
CBD.
What do you think?
Beer and oil?
CBD? CBD, beer and oils? I don't know, maybe a mix. That would be an interesting one. But you did a great job. So I'm going to open it up. If anybody has questions, can you, I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself, but if you can, great, open it up. We can talk. If you need me to unmute you, just type in the chat and I'll unmute you. Questions, or if you want to give them a comment, a takeaway, something you're taking away from this class that you really appreciate. I know they would love to hear from you.
Well, I might be blushing a little bit. I don't know about you, Erica.
Totally.
After that class, might be a little.
I love the fact that your mama's on here. That was the best too.
Yes, you should.
Okay, well, if nobody has any questions
Oh,
or
come on.
comments,
Bring it.
bring it. These men, this is your
Get 'em
time.
out. Get it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot.
We had a.
Hey guys, this is Aaron. I'm sorry, I've got a lot of stuff going on right now. It's just me. But I do have a question for you. What do you do when you find yourself like, what do you use for relaxation oil? Primarily just, I know not for sleep, but not for like anything else, but just a pure relaxation. Like I need to like calm my chi down, get everything kind of relaxed, you know, and get back centered with the family and everything else. Do you have like an oil that you go to for that?
Hey, Aaron, good to see you, man. Surprised you're not on the golf course right now. Hey, I would say for that, frankincense. Diffuse it, put it on your wrist, rub it around, you know, right here.
I don't know if you've been doing the meditation. You hear everybody talking about meditation. I've finally realized that that's not weird. It's just slowing your mind down. But he's exactly right. With that frankincense, you put that on and it's incredible. It puts you in that place of relaxation. The lavender, it's not going to put you to sleep, but I would go there too. I love diffusing the cedar wood and the lavender together. The lemon and the citrus ones have mood boosting abilities. The limonene in there and all of that, that's one of my other favorite combos is lemon with lavender. Put that in. I diffuse that in my classroom. Kids that are going nuts, it really brings them down. It's amazing. So yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of one of those things where just try a few different ones and figure out what works for you. The frankincense is awesome, and I use Stress Away a lot at work, mostly when I'm reading through emails from my bosses. So Stress Away kind of really brings me down to that more even keel moment.
I got one more, and that is, it's an expensive bottle, but I finally got it after 12, 13 years, and that is Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood. Oh my gosh, that makes me just, brings me right now. Love it. It's incredible.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. The sandalwood, I have the sacred sandalwood, and that works. And then we have the little the resin burner that we do the resin
Yes.
frankincense.
Yes.
And that's great. That's great at home. So if you're telling me that like having the frankincense oil, that's kind of what you're going for, like I need to probably start carrying that like in a roller or something like that. Because I find myself a lot of times with, I'm getting ready to retire from the military. I've been here for 26 years. I'm getting to that point where it's like, man, like I got a bunch of different things pulling me in all different directions.
Yes.
You know, kid, military life, transition to.
Do you have a diffuser in your car?
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find some and get a roller.
I got a buddy down the street, former Marine. It's so awesome to hop in his car. He puts the Shutron and a couple other oils like we just talked about in the diffuser. So as you're driving, crank on some peaceful music or whatever you like, that brings you down. It's a combination of things. Like, what you're talking about, a lifestyle. Sounds like you got a very busy life, and yeah, man, you need that. And I look at that drive home as a really good opportunity to unwind with a car.
Yeah, especially since the military and home life are so different.
Yeah.
You need to
Absolutely.
use that drive home from the office to the house with the wife and the kid as you're kind of, hey, this is me, and whether you got to take the long way home because it was a harder day. But that's where having the diffuser in the car or having the oils either in your office, something you can put on right before you go home. That's where that's a big help. It changes that mindset from gotta go to, I'm on the floor playing with the kid type of thing.
I had a guy tell me, a counselor, say, stop in your driveway or 10 minutes before you get home, and gave me permission just to stop before I enter the house, because we're compartmentalized, right? We go from work and then, so it's hard to make that transition. So once somebody said, Brian, it's okay to stop and not go in the house, turn the car off, then you don't have traffic and you don't have it. And I'm like, wow, I gave myself permission to do that. And it changed everything. I put on a podcast that I like or a song or something. But yeah, life is hard. No way about it.
Yeah, but again, it's some of it's just trial and error. What works for me might not work for Brian, or it might not work for you. So with the few options that we've given you, I would definitely try some of those. And if you like the resin burning of the frankincense, I would definitely get the oil and try that.
Yeah. Okay.
Aaron,
Absolutely.
frankincense vitality.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
What's up, Erica?
The frankincense vitality was life-changing for me. I put 2 to 3 drops under my tongue and just let it sublingually go there, and as long as I can. And it helps me do the little chill out where maybe I feel like I've had a glass of wine.
Yeah, that's what I need.
So for me, that helps. And then also when I learned the power of like Northern Lights Black Spruce, I saw you in the comments talking about that one. That one and the frequency power of that is so incredible that I carry that now in my purse all the time, because I don't know about you, but there's stressful situations that happen. And sometimes I have the kids with me, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I want to punch people. I'm just going to be really honest. And when I have those moments of frustration, I grab my Northern Lights Black Spruce and I either put drops of it in my palm of my hands and I stand there. One time I was actually at the counter and I just pulled it out. I didn't even care. I was like, I'm going to either punch this lady or I'm going to breathe this. So I just started breathing in Northern Lights, and that helped me not be having to have the cops called. I'm just saying sometimes I get passionate about things. So that happens.
Yes, and for those two, Erica, Copaiba also works for some people in a very similar way, sublingually too. So that's another option oil. There's lots of things. So everybody's a little different. There's lots of things. We had some more questions in the chat. Carol's asking, what oil would you recommend to the man who doesn't like any of them?
Thieves.
That's what I was gonna say. Thieves or one Clove. Clove. I remember wearing Thieves walking into Home Depot about 10 years ago, and I had Thieves on a cut or something like that. And this the lady running the register, she's like, "You smell so good. You smell like my dad's cigars," or something like that. And to her, it brought back a memory of childhood, and it made me feel kind of manly, like, oh, cool. So yeah, I would recommend the hot oils, which means the ones that have great properties that are in the Thieves.
Yeah, my question, I guess, would be when he says he doesn't like any of them, is it he doesn't like the smell and he doesn't like wearing it? Because that's why I said Thieves, because Thieves can be used for so many different things just to promote health. You can use it internally or just put it on the bottom of your feet. If he's worried about the smell, I would go with that. But
cedarwood.
I've never really met anybody that didn't like the smell of Valor.
Yes.
So just diffuse Valor one day and just see what he says.
We were all peppermint. Everybody likes. A lot of people like peppermint. Peppermint under the tongue or inhaling or whatever when you're tired at work. That would be, hey guys, use peppermint. Put it in your water. Look up the benefits that it has. Study that. Most people enjoy that. You think that you just brushed your teeth or something when they smell it. You got wintergreen, spearmint.
Yeah, the biggest thing, as I keep thinking about this, the biggest thing is, when he says he doesn't like any of them, you need to find what he's missing, right? If he works out a lot, is he sore all the time? Then it's either Panaway or
Hi.
boom, ba-boom. So, or if you just got to find out what he's missing or what's ailing him, and then get the oil that treats that specific thing.
Right.
Great.
If you can do it without even letting him know, then
Thank you. Yeah, I think so she mentions that are some people that are not Valor fans on this call. So they're putting in the chat. The other concept, I heard Gary Young once in an old talk about how sometimes that is when then we should take internal oils internally, put them in a capsule so you can't even smell or do it, so that the body can start getting used to it. And he also mentioned that sometimes you diffuse in the house when they're not there to let the frequency of the oils, other things go permeate throughout the whole house. And then you can even air out the house before he comes home or whatever. But it'll still have an effect on him. And he told a story about a woman who did that for 30 days. And by the end of 30 days, her husband started actually wanting the oils at the end of it, because our bodies are different. Like depending on what we've overloaded them with, it can affect what they think they need. And sometimes our bodies tell us we need bad things. You can have sugar cravings. We all know sugar is bad, but our body can crave it, right? So we need to retrain our body. Another question was, what would be some oils that would be a good mix with Shutron, fellas? And then how do you use goldenrod? PG.
Here's goldenrod.
PG version. Well, I mean, I think we're all adults on here, so if you want to be.
You place it on this and at the base of this. And your partner,
with a carrier, I would start with a carrier oil first.
Your partner's helping you with that.
So you put a little bit of coconut oil or avocado oil or whatever you got, right? In a few drops in your hand. I would start with 1 drop goldenrod, and then
Shutron directly, topically.
Just rub it on.
The sensation.
So what I do with Shutron is every time after I get out of the shower, it's again, carrier oil in the palm so that the oil goes farther, right? So carrier oil in the palm, 2 to 3 drops Shutron, 2 to 3 drops Idaho Blue Spruce. And I rub that all over pretty much from my belly button to my knees. It's everywhere.
Hey, I want to say, when you use these, going back to the other question, you mentioned internally to me, guys, if you're embarrassed about the smell or you're like, I don't want to smell like that, I was like that too. And now I'm over it. I don't care what anybody thinks because I like the way I smell now. It's taken me a while. But Colin mentioned, if you don't like that, study the oil, see what it does. Look at the science and go, do I want those benefits as well? Or do I want to? And once you realize what they do, then you'd be like, well, how can I get in that my body? You don't have to diffuse it. You don't have to put it on topically. You're the one like,
Yeah,
go to work and take your capsule that you made the night before. So then you can start using a ton of the oils, Vitality that is, right?
I love the smell of the combination of Shutron and Idaho Blue Spruce.
Yes.
And it helps that my wife does too.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yep.
What's
Well, those are all the questions I see in the chat. So if anyone else wants to unmute themselves or something, or we can close it out.
That is a good comment.
I am loving the fact that we have the Japanese background of the people for
Yeah.
running for mayor or whatever it is.
Picking up the garbage. Is that what it is?
In
Or
the
is it
gar-
other-
That's the lady running for whatever and yelling at us. But then their garbage truck too. And Brian was so worried about the sound. Like, well, you can't stop the garbage truck from coming by on Saturday morning. Carol has a question. What is it, Carol?
Hi, y'all did a great job. I love the class, and I've
Thank
got
you,
Dave,
Carol. Appreciate it.
Dave here listening with me, and it's been great. But you know, I've been taking some of the oils internally in the capsules, and I was just wondering, is it better for your system to put some olive oil in there with the oil, like
in-
grapefruit? I've been doing
Inside the
grapefruit
capsule.
in a capsule, yeah.
It can be. It depends, and the ladies might know a little more about this, but it depends on what kind of oils you're using. It's just like putting it on topically. If you're putting a carrier oil in, you're just kind of diluting it a little bit. It's not going to diminish the effect of the oils. It's just going to not be as harsh on your body with the carrier oil in it, right?
I don't take them on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
I know when I take a Thieves capsule, on an empty stomach, I can feel that in my stomach.
If you're using some of those oils, like oregano especially, which is in Thieves, which is why it kind of has that really harsh kick to it. You're using oregano, especially on an empty stomach internally in a capsule, that can be a little harsh. I would probably use a carrier oil with that for sure. But again, it depends on the oil you're using. I don't know, Jordan or Erica, do you have anything else to add to that?
I think that was a great answer.
Yeah, and I would just say if you do have some, like always make sure there's a little food on your stomach too.
Yeah, that helps.
Well, guys, you did a great job. Thanks for being brave enough and courageous enough to share, because this topic of men and oils is one that a lot of men, a giant percentage of them on our team and not on our team, may not be brave enough to do what you just did. So I hope that this encourages them to do this, because you can do hard things. You can do brave things.
It was a hard day,
Guys,
and we did it.
and it's over. So cheers to you. Have a sip of coffee, have some more Ningxia, and we will be posting this class on our team page for others to see. But thank you guys. Have a great day wherever you are.